15 love.
So a twin bill, Dick. Never been done in the United States before.
And Ernie Banks, who had a pretty good forehand, would have loved this day. Let's play two.
It last happened in 1973 here. Billie Jean King and Jan Kodish, the champions, but there was no breakfast at Wimbledon in those days.
See Becker with a much bigger service statistics.
He won't miss the backhand when you give him that kind of time. Now let's see where Stefan plays to receive Becker's serve. We commented against McEnroe how far back he was. It's not back. Well, yes, he's just about as far back. He wants a good look at that lightning bolt. Becker slipped, but continued to win the point.
30-15.
Becker only 21, Edberg just 23. Two men just approaching their prime in this game.
Two different personalities. Stefan would like to be left alone. He's not unfriendly. He's pleasant. He's bright. He lives in London. And the worst thing he thought would happen from his championship a year ago was that he would become too recognizable. But he said, it's been okay. He said, people are nice. Some do recognize me, but I don't look for it. Becker likes the limelight. And he handles it well.
And he is bright also. There's that big kicking second serve of Becker. I don't know too many people, hackers or top pros, that like to hit baseline strokes off their ear.
That's what happened to Van Gogh.
Going Becker.
Yeah, but he had a loose backhand. Becker holds to open the championship.
First game. Seats quickly, please. Players are ready. Thank you.
So we're underway. 11 minutes
Edberg
after 3 now, live from London. In case you're just tuning in, Steffi Graf has defeated Martina Navratilova in 3 sets, winning the final set 6-1 for her second consecutive title. And that's what Edberg's shooting for today, as he serves for the first time.
Love 15.
Didn't see many missed volleys by Edberg against John McEnroe. All over the net and just so precise. Deep, deep, deep on every volley.
Whoa, he skidded, and this is what he complained about 2 days against McEnroe. He said, on the court, footing is okay. But once you stray to the greener area, right here, it gets a little tough. It's a very damp day, though not actually raining.
Top spin right in the corner, and 3 break points for Boris Becker, who won the first set last year, was the favorite, only to see Edberg rally in 4.
$15-40.
As you watch the footwork of Edberg.
Very bad volleying game.
Yes, what a loose game for Edberg. He made more bad shots at the net there than he did in the whole match against McEnroe. I hope the American isn't watching. He'd have to run out of the room and say, where was that kind of play against me on Friday?
Becker won the first set a year ago. He fastened his attention on Edberg's forehand, broke it down, kept banging away at it, and Edberg built it back up again.
Again, the big kicking second serve, tough to return, and the easy point for Becker.
Now we see a strong forehand return from Stefan, but Becker handles it with ease. He's looking down the line, and he's correct.
Those of you with us yesterday will recall Becker a lot of problems with his first serve percentage. He was down in the 30s at the start, finished just under 50%.
Got it.
And with a second ball, Edberg able to score 30-15.
30-15.
Becker starting well today, 67%.
$40-15.
Well, that soft backhand volley, a winner a couple of times. Becker in the lead. So Boris Becker
Find your seats quickly,
comes
please,
out of
ladies and
booming.
gentlemen. Players are ready. Thank you.
And has a 3-love lead as Stefan Edberg now serves. Edberg apparently on his shirt, that is a likeness of him. Now, it took us over a year to find the S and the E in the old style shirt. I can't find the face in that one.
Well, we need an art critic to cover tennis, I guess.
And again, unable to volley past the net.
Oh! 15-0.
Stefan's coach, Tony Picard, says Stefan has grown up so much in the last year, overcoming his back injury, and says winning the championship of Wimbledon really does something for a player. Stature, his belief in himself.
that backhand that ultimately was the undoing of Yvonne Lendl yesterday.
Tony Picard, Englishman, former British Davis Cupper, who has coached Stefan for the last 5 years. One of the reasons Stefan lives in London. Watch Stefan's feet. He was called for 5-foot faults against John McEnroe. We've often pointed out that he tends to foot fault and usually gets away with it. Watch his rear foot as well as he comes across this line. You think he touched? Oh.
Backhand again from Becker.
Now, if either of those feet touch before he hits the ball, and the right foot, I believe, does touch the line, it's a foot fault, but none called as yet.
Becker, another break point to go 4-love in this first set.
Net cord.
Edberg had relaxed just enough, and then when it caromed off the net cord, it almost went right through his leg.
A wacky point. Boris with a miss hit, and Stefan has to back off and doesn't handle it very well. It was wild spin. Then he adds a little bit of insult with the net cord ball that Stefan will fan on. You need a butterfly net for this one. No.
And with it, Becker jumps out 4-love.
Boris, who has won 16 of 17 matches in his backyard, center court.
Love 15.
And Edberg, who is 11-1, Bud, here on center court.
Yes, he's done very well.
5-0 this year. They've let him, as the champion, play almost every match. Well, all but one right here.
15-0.
They take good care of the champion generally. And that's why Bjorn Borg played almost all his matches on center and won after he first won in 1976.
Edberg trying to repeat as champion, something that Borg accomplished as he ran off that record string of 5 consecutive Wimbledon championships, 76, 7, 8, 9, and then in 80, that was that classic with McEnroe that featured the 18-16 tiebreak in the fourth.
40-15.
Boy, it even sounds heavy, that serve of Becker.
What Billie Jean King said one day, that she heard this terrible thumping from the neighboring court. She said, I better inspect that. It was Boris practicing as a kid. Stefan with that beautiful backhand, which he's always had. Once a two-hander, but changed very young. A typical Swede.
You bet. And does he play deep on that Becker serve?
Game Becker.
Becker leads 5-love. We pause for these words.
Becker.
Understandably concerned expression from Annette Olson, Edberg's lady friend.
She looked happier a year ago, didn't she? Although the first set went against him, too.
But not this way.
Ugh.
What's the expression? Hitting out?
Watch Boris. He's come to the dance to dance, all right. Whew.
Edberg has won only 8 points. Down, love 5.
Finally gets a forehand volley.
15 over.
Yeah, tough play, and Edberg had to go for it. That ball would have dropped in play. Becker trying to become a 3-time champion in 5 years.
Ooh. 15-14.
Edberg has won only 4 points in his 3 service games.
Service.
Becker, 6-love in the first.
Wimbledon, the championships, is brought to you by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. To arrange a thorough test drive, phone your nearest BMW dealer. And by Citicorp, because Americans want to succeed, not just survive.
So Boris Becker needed just 22 minutes to power through that opening set. And Stefan Edberg played as poorly as Becker did brilliantly.
That has not happened as we look at Alvira and Heinz Becker.
Redhead seems to have an answer for everything.
15-love.
He's just Narayevin around here today. Look at this. Is that Beletic? They used to complain about Becker not being very light on his feet, but he's worked hard.
30-love.
There's his first ace and his 85th in the championship, second only to Ivan Lendl.
19 yesterday.
And he scored more than 3 times as many aces as Edberg. 85-26 now.
And manager Jan Tiriac from Dracula country in Romania. He saw Becker was tipped off by a Romanian friend to look at this kid. What a profitable look it was.
Game Becker.
Service winner, Becker at love. Oh my. And Edberg do anything to slow him down. Well, my speed reading course has failed me trying to check quickly as to the last time in a Wimbledon final a man did not win a game in the opening set, and it's a long time ago. I know.
Only 103 years. Willie Renshaw, the great champion of that day anyway.
Please. Thank you.
Bageled Herbert Lawford, the man who invented topspin in the first set, 1886, and went on to win the title 6-love, 5-7, 6-3, 6-4. Willie Renshaw.
15 love.
So a very significant capturing in that first set by Becker at love. Historical. And he made the backhand volley deep as he did against McEnroe, and it was set up for him. Unable to complete the task.
I remember asking Bjorn Borg in 1981, do you ever hear of Willie Renshaw? He says, I know who Mr. Renshaw was because Renshaw won 6 straight Wimbledons, and that was the record Borg was trying to tie. Didn't quite make it.
Out. 30-15.
And Renshaw won 7 altogether. 100 years ago, he beat his brother Ernest for his 7th title.
In those days, as champion, you waited for the tournament to progress, and then whoever survived, then you played them in the final.
First service.
Was it 22 when they first started the open seeding process?
Yes. No, 27 the seeding, 22 they gave up that challenge round proposition.
And now the champion has to play through the entire rounds of the championship.
First service.
So with that in mind, one could arguably place Bjorn Borg as best ever.
Oh.
Even on a miss hit.
30-all.
So Becker a point away from his 8th straight game.
Not supposed to treat a champion this way. Sweet recovery momentarily anyway. That's not a bad return, but look at the depth on Edberg's volley so that he has to do only this.
Finally got that forehand to win a point, but only after a heavy kiss on the top of the net. Such an important game for Edberg. After being shut out opening set, doesn't want to drop this first service game in the second. And doesn't.
And Edberg.
He holds at 1-all. Well, later today, stay with us on NBC Sports. You'll see many of those young men and women that you were cheering and feeling for over in Seoul.
One game more.
Our
Second set.
ever-improving gymnastics team and the men's and women's championship to be decided today on NBC, 4:30 Eastern Time, 3 o'clock on the West Coast. Brandy Johnson, Lance Ringnold, all the fine young talent from the U.S. in the competition. Becker 6'4", and they say 185. He's around 200 pounds. And when he goes up for that overhead, airborne, it appears that he casts a shadow that covers most of his half of the court. He is a big man.
You know.
56-8 on grass is Becker. 5 titles, 2 of them at Wimbledon, 3 at Queens, the men's tournament on grass that precedes Wimbledon here in London.
But he's never won Newport, the only grass court championship in America. Starts tomorrow.
Who's the defending champion there?
Wally Masur, and he'll be there. The Hall of Fame is there, and Virginia Wade will be inducted Saturday.
She composed that tremendous victory in the centennial year of Wimbledon, 1977. The British have had so little to cheer for so long in tennis, and that was a glorious moment for them. 1-all, 30-15, second set. Wow, that ball almost landed on the baseline and skidded into the crowd. You return this high kicker.
Need a step ladder, maybe. Well, Edberg did a good job. That hugged him, but he took a quick step and made a good return.
.62 and 175 is Edberg. Very light on his feet. Deceptively quick.
Net court. Oh! It's wide.
Most of the crowd doesn't realize that Paul was out. As Edberg, some sensational.
This is one of the finer points of the championships. Going at it with everything, and he deserved better, and could have touched the line,
huh?
huh?
Just a hair wide. But perhaps Edberg picking up his game now to match the fast start of Becker.
He needs to begin to shove some balls back into the court to return, which is no mean feat against Becker.
Becker slipping as he tried to slide into that low return. When Lendl took a couple of sets off Becker yesterday, it denied him a chance to equal a rare mark at Wimbledon, moving through the men's championship without dropping a set, winning all 21. Pretty good names on the list, and only 3 have done it in the modern era. And a break point for Edberg.
Advantage Edberg.
Becker changes up on the serve, and Stefan is ready. And a good feeling to have achieved his first break point. Now can he cash it?
Becker still serving 61%. It's good for him. Anything over 50.
Fantastic for him. Net court.
Not up.
Oh, this bruiser has touch. Net court, he reacts to it well. And Boris, a little startled that Stefan would even make the play, but Edberg is very quick. 3, 4, and a nice slide, a clay court slide. Glad he's doing that split instead of me.
I mentioned Becker, had he gone through the tournament without dropping a set, the only 3 to do it, Borg, McKinley, and Trabert.
Advantage Becker.
Some may have forgotten that Tony Trabert, the man we talked so much about in Paris, is the last man to win there. Also won Wimbledon.
1955, same year. And he won the U.S. Championship. So that was one of the greatest seasons of all time, put together by Tony Trabert. Lost in the Australian in the semis, or he would have had a Grand Slam.
Becker.
So Edberg with an opening, couldn't cash in on the break. It's 2-1 in the second. The reason Boris Becker leads 6-love, they're on serve. 1-2 in the second. 3 unforced errors. 19 winners. Edberg, mediocre by his standards.
Players are ready.
Brett, coach of Boris Becker.
Australian. So there's quite a support team here. They've rented a large house very near the grounds. Jan Tiriac in charge. 3 aides de camp. Bob Brett is the coach.
Now that would be a place it'd be fun to drop over for tea, wouldn't it?
Yes, because Tiriac might eat the cup.
Well, Joanne Russell was so high in her praise of Billie Jean King and her fine tennis mind, and no argument there. Tiriac would be a close contestant in that regard in terms of knowledge of this sport.
He's one of the shrewdest guys in the game. He was a very tricky player.
Don't see that angle very often.
Count Dracula. I first met him. He said, "I am Count Dracula's cousin." Then he banged me on the head with his own head. That was his form of greeting. He did that to Stan Smith once, and Stan had a headache for 4 days, he said. I merely had a concussion. Very friendly guy. And he does eat glassware on demand.
40 love.
it's immediately qualifies him for a lot of fraternities that I knew back at Central Michigan, and so in the old days, the NFL used to have a few.
Game Edberg.
Well, Edberg squares away his service technique and rolls out a love game. It's 2-all.
2 games all. Second set.
I'll take you caught me.
Was that? Yeah, we were looking there again, but 1923 wasn't. What happened there?
There was a bagel, too, and I overlooked it. Oh, golly. First set. Little Billy Johnson beat Frank Hunter. 2 Americans. 6-love. Well, I'm glad I got Willie Renshaw plugged anyway.
Well, that's right. And like your book, My Life with the Pros, you hit so many great names in tennis, and you just wanted to get Hunter and Johnson in there anyway.
Boris lost the second set last year in a tiebreaker, and then Edberg came on strongly. Edberg trying to decide just where to play for this serve. Should he get a little closer and try and pick it up on the rise? No. Now he tightens up to the baseline a little more. I think he's got to come closer on the second serve. I think he must stand in a little more. First serve, okay, but
Game Becker.
And another powerful service game by Boris Becker, holding it low. Juan Antonio Samaranch staring off to the side, and Philippe Chatrier very relaxed. His French championship so successful again. The International Olympic Committee President Samaranch. Well, there'd be a conversation you'd like to eavesdrop.
And Brian Tobin right in front of the president of Tennis Australia.
And it has become much darker at the moment. Nearly 4 o'clock in England. And let's hope the weather stays away.
I don't think Edberg would mind a shower.
That one is going, touch them all. That's in the upper deck.
Thank you. Have the ball back.
Gerald Patterson once fouled the ball off and went right out of the park.
Can we have the ball back, please?
John Perry must fight to get the ball back. You never get it back from a baseball fan.
Not if he's American.
Packed-in standing room. They pay $16 to stand.
6 balls in play at a time. And they change every 9 games.
Net cord goes for Boris.
15-all.
Starting to get the feeling this is Deutschland Day out here?
Well, many felt before the championship started that the best possibilities, or the most likely possibilities, were Graf and Becker. They were the favorites going in.
Oh.
15-30.
First double fault. But this is not the Stefan Edberg that was absolutely sparkling against John McEnroe, making so few mistakes. His volleys just placed impeccably on that baseline, forcing McEnroe deep on every play.
Oh! He'll get it! Becker moving so well, chip lob, it's not deep enough, but he fields the smash and nearly gets this. 2, 3, 4, a dive that's so familiar, his first knockdown of the day. He was knocked down 4 times by Lendl, and this is number 1 by Edberg.
What a vivid replay of the power of Becker driving toward the ball.
Doubtful he'd be a tennis player if he'd grown up in the United States.
That's a good point. He sure looks like a tight end to me.
Oh, my goodness. A fall away.
30-40.
Return.
Second break point for Becker in this set. Edberg handled a tough return. It was low and hard, and he was able to backhand his volley deep enough to force Becker into the net.
Boris giving him no breathing room. No time to regroup. Much more determined look on Boris than there was at the start of yesterday's match.
Now that's the Edberg of last year and the Edberg we saw Friday. A point now from 3-all in the second. Boris Becker, 6-love in the first. Last accomplished at Wimbledon in the first set 66 years ago. And Edberg wins his game. It is 3-all. I enjoyed in your book, Bud, very much, and there's no question about your love for this game, and you sense that with every page. Some of the names that I didn't know well, and feeling that I knew a Lev Richards calling the radio from Forest Hills in the U.S. Open.
He was great. That's a long time ago when they had radio broadcasts of the U.S. Championships. Lev Richards was wonderful.
Well, they call it on radio here in England, and it is fascinating.
We listened to those broadcasts. We couldn't imagine what he was talking about, a grass court. It just was beyond our vision.
It's long.
15 up.
Edberg had the shot, couldn't deliver. Yeah, let's check on their progress. Becker still with only 3 unforced errors.
And 54% for him is so high.
But it's dropping. He was up in the mid-60s in the first set. And Edberg has to hope he'll cool off. Edberg did have a chance to break him in the third game of this set. His only chance in the match thus far.
Net court.
On the line. But that's twice Becker has made remarkable plays on net courts.
15 up.
Yes, it hasn't bothered him at all. Good reflexes and eyesight, but that top spinner has the line. What a nice shot.
Center lines, woman diving for cover.
But she made the call. Jane Clark is in a dangerous spot as center lineswoman. In a tragic incident a few years ago, Stefan Edberg, with a fast serve, hit a center linesman, Richard Wertheim, at the U.S. Open. Wertheim fell, he was off balance, and died later. Heart attack.
Oh, you can see from that angle how overpowering Becker's serve is.
40-15.
That was 118 miles an hour and just didn't bounce at all. And at tea time, 4 o'clock here in England. They're on serve in the second. Welcome back live. Center court, Wimbledon. Dick Edberg with Bud Collins, Joanne Russell, Stan Smith, Charlie Jones. Stan and Charlie are covering the doubles action today, women's and men's finals and the mixed, and a lot of extra matches just to try to get all the titles decided on this final Sunday. Edberg, 3-4 in the second.
Playing himself into it.
41.
Charlie Jones.
Jan Chiriak, were you surprised with the first set?
Well, I think that you have to consider that probably Becker was playing the sixth set of his match with Lendl today, and he was right in the match, and that was the good part for him, and Stefan didn't get into the match until the second game of the second set. Now he is back in the match. I think that Boris played a very quiet match. The momentum of the match was not reached yet, and we have to wait until probably one of the guys is going to give everything out.
Okay, thanks for visiting with us.
I like that. One of the guys will give everything out. You bet. And this second set's so critical now for Stefan Edberg. He's the man that must produce some magic, but Becker's big service games, tough to penetrate. Only a second ace, but that's misleading. He's had so many service points that have just been tying up Edberg. No chance to return well. That one measured at 120 miles an hour on the IDS Sports Radar.
Heavy luck.
You asked me about Tiriac as a hockey player. He played in the World Championships. He played in 2 Olympics for Romania. Once he got into a jam playing against Russia. They were coming at him. He broke his stick in 2 and held up 2 jagged ends. He said, "We have a Romanian proverb. It is better to make his mother cry than your mother cry."
And with that face,
Woo, they backed off.
you know, if he were playing now, you'd give him a 2-minute penalty on just mustache alone. Other than that one chance in the 3rd game, Becker has been totally dominant every service game, offering no hope to Stefan Edberg.
But Edberg is patient. He doesn't rattle. It's best of 5 after all.
But it's a tough best of 5 if he doesn't take this set. Love game for Boris Becker. 5-4 in the second. Well, when fans learned that they had these very expensive seats, if you have to buy them from an outsider, we're talking in the thousands of dollars for a pair of tickets to a Wimbledon final on a Sunday to see the men's championship. Little did they realize they would get both ends a bonus. The women's title won earlier by Steffi Graf as she repeats in 3 sets over Martina Navratilova, 6-1 in the 3rd, and now Boris Becker and Stefan Edberg. Edberg serving to keep this second set alive, 4-5.
That was surely a foot fault. Not a single one called against him today. And it's sure a problem he doesn't need. Becker's enough.
Both Edberg and Becker with that high-kicking second serve. You describe Edberg as really an outstanding player. He's not easy to say. You know, usually you can pick out a part of a man or woman's game and say, this is what they stand for. 30 love. Now, with your writing eye and keen sense of this game, you know, what do you think it is about him? What one quality that makes him one of the best? Edberg.
Edberg, I think, a placid nature that masks a great competitor. We found that out here, but I think he is able to glide through this high-pressure world very easily.
Oh, what a big hook.
And that's just one factor. He's a gifted athlete. He has size, he has speed, and he has the shots. And from a very early age, he was picked out as a kid who would probably succeed. But I don't think he has the kind of drive that keeps him going relentlessly as Jimmy Connors did to win a lot of tournaments. He gets himself up for these majors.
Well, both men just flying through their service games. Annette Olson, interesting name for a girlfriend of a tennis player, Annette.
Oh.
Kind of fits the scheme. 5-all. I had a girlfriend once, a Fault. Unusual first name.
Double fault. That's what my Uncle Studley called his second marriage.
5-all. Now Becker, as he serves, this is his 9th service game. He's allowed only 9 points.
Now there's a start. And this can turn very quickly
Lot 15.
He crowded that ball, and I've thought he ought to move in just a little closer. Second ball. Still remote on the first. Now, where will Stefan be to receive the second? Moving in. Aha!
Well, that was a magnificent view of a terrific backhand return.
So at the moment of impact on the delivery, Stefan moves to within the baseline, takes that ball right off the grass, punches it.
Ted Nathanson, our director, and Richard Klein, our producer, really letting us see the shots at all the best angles. Love 30.
Ooh.
122 miles an hour for ace number 3.
15 seconds.
That poured, and it helped Edberg. When he gets lined up, though, and both feet are planted, as you'll see, he is ready to deliver a wicked stroke. Ready. Look over that right shoulder, and it would have been a very difficult ball to volley, even if it hadn't clipped the tape.
And a second ball chance now for Edberg. He has 2 break points. Opportunity to take the lead in the second set after losing 6-love in the first.
And he just moves beautifully.
So the start of this Wimbledon championship was disastrous for Stefan Edberg. Being shut out 6-love in the opening set. First time 66 years that's happened to a man in this championship. But much like last year when Edberg lost the first set 6-4, he's pulled his game together. He's rallied, and with a break now serves for the second set. And that is the 12th consecutive point he's won on his serve. Just wide.
Set it up.
Going for his 3rd consecutive love service game, and a point from squaring the match.
Ugh.
Heavy top.
Becker, a pretty good reply from that flat-footed stance, and he's ready for that.
Second service.
One set point wiped away with a forehand. Now this one with a backhand.
And it's one of those backhands. He dips the first one so that he sets up a shot that Ivan Lendl won't want to see for a while.
So now a huge point for Stefan Edberg. Three set points wiped away by Becker.
Net skimming returns. So difficult to volley. And that was a foot fault. Not called.
So from 40 love, 3 set points. Boris Becker, 4 consecutive points and a chance to earn that break back and force a tiebreaker.
Now, what will Boris want to do here as we look at Annette Olsen in the box? Run around for a forehand or steam that backhand again?
Well, there's a lesson in incredible service returns from Boris Becker.
Extraordinary on grass. A server and volleyer of Edberg's magnitude, having a 40-love lead, and Becker just taking it right away from him.
Now the tie break, first to 7 by 2. Becker first.
So, Stefan fighting right back. It's a question of who gets in the first serve.
First service.
And a mini break. One back by Becker. .118 miles an hour the last Edberg serve, so he can gun it too.
A year ago, Edberg won the second set in a tiebreaker after losing the first, and then, of course, went on to the title. Three straight points against serve in the breaker.
And another big return shot from Becker. And going back to the 12th game where Edberg had 3 set points, Becker now has won 7 straight points against serve. Hard to believe. And in this set, and maybe the match in the balance with his recovery. 3 points to 1. Ace number 4. Edberg backs away. 7 straight points he's lost.
He's got to have both serving points here.
And his first serve percentage is starting to erode his chances of a comeback. He's down to 60%. Becker is teeing off on that second ball and leads 5 points to 1 in the tiebreak. 8 straight service points lost by Edberg, or won by Becker is a better way of phrasing it.
Gee. Serve is supposed to be an advantage in this game.
But again, Edberg unable to get that first ball in.
Boris is so confident now on the second one. He's got to let it rip. Look at that. Oh. I mean, everybody in the ballpark knew he was going to go for that second ball, and he's going to go for everything now. Now that's a dipper. A little more topspin than he probably wanted, but it works out well if you can hit the buggy whip. Wing! The bolo.
Like Michael Jordan when he gets one of those shooting moods where he won't miss a shot. Five chances for the set. 7-1 Boris Becker in the tiebreaker, and he leads 2 sets to none. You saw the gentleman in the second row applauding a Becker play. He's the German ambassador.
Von Richthofen, and in the front row, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Bhutto. Madam Bhutto. And when she was a Harvard kid, Dick, she was a hockey fan. Followed the Harvard teams, and I bet she was glad to hear that Bill Clary's team won the NCAA title this year.
Great championship for the Crimson. And a great run for the man with the carrot top, Boris Becker. Did he ever put it in another gear? Still only 3 unforced errors.
I don't know what you've done with the balls.
Edberg doesn't like the balls. He says, I don't know what you've done with them.
I know what Boris has done with it.
Crushed them. Maybe they're all got a flat side the way he's hitting that backhand.
Stefan must be very discouraged, despite his competitive mettle, to have served at 40-love for the second set.
Losing 5 straight points,
I've never seen
forcing a
anything
tiebreak, and losing
like
every
that.
point
Yeah.
in the tiebreak on his serve. Down 2 sets, Edberg serves.
Finally wins the point on serve.
59.
Well, this will test the mettle of Edberg. See what he's got for Becker. So discouraged now. was incredible, Bud. Before that set game, Edberg had won at Love, and won 3 straight points. So he was on a run of 11 straight points on his serve, and then it just went completely the other way when he needed just that one delicate point. And he wins at Love to open the third. Boris Becker, ready, and Jan Tiriak put it very well that playing so late in his 5-set semifinal yesterday against Ivan Lendl that he was just playing the 6th set. He was in tune. Edberg had the day off, which figured to be to his advantage, but missed the wake-up call.
Oh. Second knockdown of Becker.
And Edberg gets the winner off a net cord.
Maybe Stefan's looking for a technical knockout here.
Oh, this is
lost his footing, left foot.
Yeah, you won't see this on the U.S. Gymnastics Championships, but that will follow later today.
Down, up, and down.
No points unless you roll. Well, it would be refreshing to the mood of Edberg if he could come back and break Becker early here in the third.
Becker's volleying touch is so sweet today. He has the racket just at the right angle, way out in front, hardly moves it.
Getting everything, shots that look impossible. They didn't make that point, but he's made so many other tough tests look relatively easy. $15-30. Coolness of the day. Both men, Edberg first, have gone to the vests. The last towel off, Becker pulled on his.
Adios.
Very shallow second serve.
30-40.
And this is the sort of thing that Stefan's looking for.
Oh, the beautiful timing of that stroke. And a chance to get the lead here in the third. %, first service for Becker, averaging 48 for the tournament. That sounded fast, and it was 124. Double fault, his first of the match. And here's a man having trouble with that first ball, 49% now, and yet, remarkably, had not double faulted. Second break point, Edberg.
Toss problems again. Another deuce.
Watching live from Wimbledon, center court, 4:36 London time. Boris Becker with a 2-set lead. And scores his 5th ace.
Where were you after yesterday's matches, Dave?
I know you were looking for me. Well, we spent a lot of time putting together the dreamer that I am, the shots I wish I had. In essence, it'll give fans a chance to appreciate the high level of play here, the incredible shot making. Try to pull a bunch of those together. We'll have that after this match.
Oh!
That might make the reel. What a delicate lob.
Yeah, you'll see that Boris is not concerned as he sees the ball go up, but it keeps going up right here. He feels that he can handle that all right, and, oh, I can't.
Just inside the baseline. First time we've had a 3-deuce game in this match.
Advantage Edberg.
Second double fault. Both in this game. And the third chance for Edberg to take a 2-love lead. Took the life right out of his fan club, that ending of the second set when he served 3 times for the set and then was blown away in the tiebreak.
Net cord will not go. Stefan hit that forehand very confidently. He was pulled out of the court. He knew where it was going. He started immediately. Terrific anticipation. And he hit it well. But the tape would not yield.
Trouble getting that first serve in again.
Advantage Becker.
Only a second game point in this, the longest game of the match.
First service.
Becker fights off 3 break points. It's 1-all. Charlie?
1 game more.
Stan Smith has joined us. Now, Stan, Edberg gets back in the match in the second set, and then he loses it. He almost gets back in here. How is he going to get back in this match?
Well, Charlie, it's been a strange match. I mean, who would have thought that Edberg would have been broken 3 times in the first set? But at this point, really, it's a mental thing. Edberg is playing fine. He's hitting great backhands. He's starting to time the serve of Becker. He's doing equally as well on his serve as Becker's doing on his. And so I think it's really a mental game from this point forward. He has to remember the positive things he's been doing this match and forget about the negative things. Forget about those set points, that 6-love set, and think about getting that serve in, making a sharp volley, and staying in there because he can still win the match if he knows if he really believes in himself. That's the key.
Vic?
15 up.
All right. Stan Smith, who, as you saw, won this championship 17 years ago. Goodness, has that much time flown by?
5 sets over Ilya Nastasi, one of the thrillers in Wimbledon history.
15-all.
Well, if anyone had any doubts before Wimbledon of Becker's backhand, just the last 2 days, one would have to acknowledge, if not bow, to such a weapon.
Becker, how he can hit that ball so well with his face-on stance, but he does it. He's strong.
And a tough service return, and Becker is now the man in position to break.
He's handling both Edberg serves now, first and second.
First service. Choose. Advantage Becker.
And for Boris Becker, this will be his 10th chance to break Edberg. He's made good on the 4 previous opportunities. Edberg only 1 out of 5 in the match.
Better than he did yesterday against Lendl, but he won the match.
Absolutely perfect low deep volley, and Becker almost got it.
Almost got it. Stefan has reached the point in this match where he has to hit perfect shots and then hope that they work for him.
And I think Becker thought he had a play.
Boris is just brimming with confidence now. He's got his own special center court feeling where he can do no wrong. Even with that, woo, it came close. A miss hit.
Game Edberg.
And we'll return to Wimbledon after these words from your local station. Looking at the centerpiece of the 42 acres of the All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club famed center court. Boris Becker lost only once here. And that was to Edberg last year, up 2 sets. And here's an update. Becker righted his serving percentage for the entire tournament, 48%. But look at the difference between winners and unforced errors for Becker. Plus 32. Plus 13 for Edberg, who has picked up his level of play, but he has a big mountain to climb.
He throws up a mountainous lob. Doesn't matter. The center court force is with Boris.
His timing today is so sharp.
Lendl, as it turns out, was a great foil for him, even though he came close to losing. He had needed a tough match. He'd been tap dancing through this tournament.
Second service.
That was the first seeded player he faced. Was it not?
Yeah, I think so.
Where Edberg had to beat 3 seeds to get here to the finals, including McEnroe, who really played a solid match Friday. Speaking of McEnroe, a tremendous musical fan of the opera, and there seems some likenesses in some of our geniuses, and boy, we have plenty here working back in those edit rooms and graphics. We put together, along with the play of McEnroe, a most intriguing piece that we'll show you after this match. Andrew Lloyd Webber would be proud.
How he pulled the string on that volley.
30-15.
Becker with delicacy as well as dynamite. And there's the delicate side. Boris, let's see, stops right at the tee, then keeps moving in. He's spectacular today.
Seems every shot is on Becker's sweet spot of the racket. Third double fault. Going for his 17th center court win and 18 tries, Becker.
The only loss to the fellow across the net.
Game Becker.
It's 2-all.
Wimbledon, the championships, is brought to you by the Travelers. You're better off under the umbrella. By Nike, who reminds you to just do it. And by the companies of the Prudential. Come to the Prudential and build your future on the rock.
Breakfast at Wimbledon on this July day, gray and cool. And on on early this morning at 8 o'clock, an extra bonus hour so that we might bring you live the women's and the men's championships in a rare doubleheader on this Sunday. That because of rain.
59.
Actually, this Wimbledon not plagued by bad weather, but the timing wasn't good. It waited for the rain delays at the end of the championships, which then pushed the women's final to today, and it's been won by Steffi Graf again in 3 sets over Martina Navratilova.
And that was a bit absent-minded by Edberg. What he must do now, behind by 2 sets, just keep playing as though we were even. Concentrate, not panic.
30-15.
As you see Becker run down another shot, and we told you yesterday that he's going to work out with the great Olympian, decathlon champion 2 times, Daley Thompson, this summer, work on his acceleration. Daley Thompson might take a second look at the way
40-15.
this man is put together and make a decathlete out of him.
Not quite the money in that, is there?
Not quite, but some. High kicker
40-30.
on the serve, and then almost too easy, the volley. No pace, and Edberg way out in front. Edberg serving 2 out of 3, 66%. Becker down to 47%.
And Boris, the bombastic backhand lives.
Real tight backswing. Had the free hand on the frame and then rip.
Advantage Edberg.
And we'll check that unforced error count for Becker here into the 3rd set. 8-8 in the entire match for Becker. A man hitting out on everything. And that's how he played the 5th set against Lendl yesterday.
And Edberg.
Edberg manages to hold. Still in this 3rd set on serve. What is significant about those statistics in the match is that Becker is not only controlling Edberg's second serve, but he's controlling his own, winning 60% of the points off his second serve, and 80% when his first ball is good.
Settle down, please, ladies and gentlemen. Players are ready.
Formidable statistics for Edberg to stare at.
That second serve winning percentage, hasn't he, from yesterday? Quite a bit. Leo Levin will have an answer for us in a second.
2-3, up 2 sets for Becker. And he's getting a lot of chances to win his second serve because his first serve percentage is only 47%.
Enough.
Tough to hit a softball back to Becker. It's coming at you with so much pace. Much ahead. We'll have doubles action from Wimbledon as time permits. We approach 5 o'clock local time, noon in the east.
Well, he
Turned the net cord inside out with the power of that smash.
Boris demands of the net cord here that it give in.
Look,
Get over.
They could feel that one in Bath.
Oh, beautiful. And twice in this game, Stefan Edberg has shown an ability to change and lower the speed on his backhand. Now, that could have been an outball that Boris flagged, but look at that. Stefan arranging the point so nicely.
And even a clenched fist. That's a wild gesture from the stoic Swede. Well, it's a mark of how high the quality of Becker's tennis game has been that we haven't heard a single verbal groan or self-deprecating remark, which you normally will get out of a Becker match. He has been in control from the walk-on. 6-love, then in trouble, but rallied to break Edberg late in the second set, won the tiebreaker, now on serve 2-3 in the third.
Game Becker, full change.
3-all. A reminder on Tuesday night, one of the great sports events of any year, NBC Sports presents the Midsummer Night Stream, the 60th All-Star Game. Kevin Mitchell and Bo Jackson, Will Clark, Wade Boggs, well, you name your favorite baseball star, and they'll be on parade. President Ronald Reagan will make a special visit to the broadcast booth, joining Vin and Tom on baseball's Night of Stars, the All-Star Game Tuesday on NBC. And while we have a moment on this Sunday, be sure to be with us throughout the country in the afternoon. There'll be a break between tennis and the U.S. Gymnastics Championships, one of the prime events of the sports year, the best of America, men and women vying for that important title, best in the U.S. Edberg best at Wimbledon last year, but down 2 sets today and 3-all in the third.
Alan Mills, the referee. Ken Farrar, the right of the screen, he's the supervisor, the Grand Prix supervisor. What are they doing out here? Is it misting?
Yeah, that's a bad sign.
Detect?
Bad sign when he appears. That usually means bad weather.
Well, Becker said he was saved by the rain delay yesterday, an hour and a quarter, as Ivan Lendl was climbing all over him. He came back to win in 5. It's wonderful shot making from both ends of the court. You would never think that one man was 2 sets ahead. The frame is good enough. Right here, steers it over.
Threw it over.
10 years ago, that might have been called a carry.
Miss-hit lob by Becker. 40-15. Well, the play before, it was Edberg with a break.
That makes some of you hackers feel better.
But when you're talented, it goes in.
Oh!
Well, this game has had something of everything. 40-30.
Becker is so avid, he doesn't want to give up any point.
Edberg knew he had to go up the line, and instead he just hit that nice little slice back cross court.
Just hit it.
Well, there he is. You've seen him before, Fortescue Pitt on the net, and he's one of the good ones.
Edberg holds 4-3 in the third. Becker by 2 sets. No breaks of service in this third set. After Becker broke Edberg in all 3 of his service games in the opening set 6-love, they traded breaks late in the second set, forcing a tiebreak.
A start. Any little opening. Any foot in the door return. I don't want to tell Stefan the last time somebody came back from 2-0 down in the final. Long time ago.
That wasn't Renshaw too, was it?
No, this was Henri Cochet, one of the French Musketeers in 1927. Beat his old pal Barotra, whom we had on the show in Paris.
That's incredible. 62 years ago since someone came from 2 sets down?
And Cochet had quite a tournament. He came from 2 sets back to beat Frank Hunter in the quarterfinals, and 2 sets down and 5-1 down in the third to beat Bill Tilden. That's a double fault.
And love 30, 4 double faults for Becker. Well, the crowd, many of them, of course, local residents, and recognizing Edberg as their own as he makes his home here in London, and the others who would just like to see more tennis, rooting for Stefan at this stage.
His best shot in a long time. Well, you've heard of the flying Walendas. How about Becker and Edberg? Nobody's going to let the ball touch the ground.
Thank you.
And the umpire makes one of those silly remarks, please don't make noise during play. How are you not going to make noise during tennis like this?
The play on Edberg's return of service was remarkable. Didn't half volley it, got the racket flat on the grass to get the ball back and win the point.
And that was to set up love 40. And Becker swooping.
And despite the fact that Boris Becker's percentage for serve is down to 46%, here he is.
He was in the
control.
60s, wasn't he?
It was in the first set.
62, I believe. Correct.
But again, testimony to all he has on that second serve. And when he gets that first one in, that's the result. Wins 79% of the points whenever he gets that big first serve in. Becker truly played that like a champion that game. He had every chance to be broken and denied Edberg.
Well, Buddy Schultz, who's the pro at Longwood Cricket Club in Boston, used to be on the tour. That's where the U.S. Pro Championships begin tomorrow. Tells a story about Becker. He said, I was in Germany playing a satellite event, and they told me I was playing Becker. Well, there was a German player named Becker, B-E-C-K-A, and he said, I thought that'd be easy. Instead, he said, it was this 14-year-old big red-headed kid. I said, well, that'll be easy, said Buddy Schultz, and he said, he just wiped me out. And he said, that's where I found out about Boris Becker.
Karen Schultz.
Karen Schultz, yep. She's 25. She's a student of languages, and he met her at a tournament where she was a hostess in Hamburg.
Becker creamed that last second serve. Here he comes again.
Oh. Do a solo for us, Boris. Gee.
What record preparation he seemed to have.
Changes the grip slightly to go for the backhand, and Edberg is really in the soup here.
A shot from Becker. That was the shot of a man who is about to put the full clench on the throat of his opponent.
Quiet, please, ladies and gentlemen. Quiet, please. Thank you.
3 points to go, 5-4 in the third. And a service line bounce for Edberg to erase one.
Champion tottering.
By Edberg on what seemed like a sure winner.
A champion's response, because Becker hit that about as well as any backhand he stroked today.
Advantage Becker.
Just long. So after that remarkable shot to deny Becker the third of 3 break points, Boris gets a fourth. To say, as you watch those two women, it's not difficult to tell which one is the girlfriend of Becker and which one is rooting for Edberg. Earlier we caught Becker's lady in full smile and the deep frown of Miss Olsen. Serving for his third Wimbledon title.
59. Thank you.
Down to just about the end of his ammunition.
15.
Edberg dips one well and shows his own version of the buggy whip.
Just the top of the net on its way over. Two points from the title.
Stefan's turn to make good backhand returns. Boris had to do well to make anything out of that.
Quiet, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. First service.
For the third seed, and he throws his racket up into the crowd. Well, we've seen Agassi with his shirts, and certainly many have celebrated by hitting the game ball for a souvenir, but Becker offers his racket. The third Wimbledon for the number 3 seed. Boris Becker on opening day looked at the order of play against Brian Shelton, saw he wasn't on center court, wasn't on court 1, so he thought he wasn't playing. So he kind of wandered out here late. They wouldn't let him into the grounds. He didn't have his players pass. He had to talk his way into Wimbledon to finally play Brian Shelton. Well, he won't have to talk his way into any place after his performance tonight. And hey, not bad technique. Daley Thompson might want to sign him up for the discus. Only 2 other men in modern Wimbledon history have won more Wimbledon titles now than young Boris Becker. Welcome back live to center court, nearly 5:30 in the late afternoon in London. We invite you to stay with us for the interviews. We have an intriguing look at John McEnroe, Phantom of the Opera scene, and then we'll show you as much as we can Jim Pugh and Rick Leach, the #1 doubles team seated in this tournament from the United States against John Fitzgerald, the Aussie, and Anders Jarrett of Sweden in the finals to decide the men's doubles championship. And now to the award ceremony. Stefan Edberg, defending champion, dethroned today. Edberg fidgeting with his runner-up plate, and Becker embracing his golden treasure. #3 for Wimbledon. We mentioned only 2 other men have won more than 3 in the modern era. Bjorn Borg and Rod Laver. And at just age 21, one has a feeling that he'll have many more golden chances. Alan Mills, the tournament referee, now introduced. Brilliantly inconspicuous, those ball boys and ball girls throughout the tournament. And now a moment with the photographers. Bud Collins standing by. We'll try to talk both Edberg and Becker.